All right, there we go. We are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Pastrami Nation. We are the meat of pop culture. My name is Nolan Smith, and joining me from Pastrami Nation today, we have fellow co-founder of Pastrami Nation, Jason Smith,
Hi everybody, how you doing?
and we also have longtime reporter and reviewer of Pastrami Nation, Daniel Schwartz.
Hey,
And
good
we
being
also
here.
have a very good friend of mine, special guest tonight, Christian Nacorda, awesome guy. Like we
Hey,
were doing the action figure podcast, we can't have it without him.
thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm glad to be
Thanks for
here.
being here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
we're excited to have you here. Now, first, can you tell us a little bit? I know you're a sculptor and an artist. Can you give us a little bit of background about yourself?
I mean, currently I'm a teacher. I teach art. Primarily, I teach like anatomy, drawing anatomy. Mostly for at this point like concept artists or people getting into like the entertainment art industry. But I also teach like painting, um, head construction. That's like another big class, and I teach perspective. Not
Oh,
fun.
sweet.
I mean, I love it. If anybody's listening, I love it. But yeah, I primarily I love drawing people, people faces. That's my big thing. So, but yeah, I worked in the toy
I'd say
industry
you're
for
pretty
like a
good at
good.
it too.
Thanks, man. I'm okay. But yeah, I worked in the toy industry for the better part of like the early 2000s, and
Okay.
like got a lot of work done there. But it's been a while. It's been a while since I've done that, so it's all teaching now. So
That's still pretty awesome because you got to have that experience, and then now you. I mean, I'm a teacher as well, so it's awesome. You get to teach people and help them. I mean, you teach something far more interesting than what I teach, but
what do you teach?
I teach marketing, so
Hey, that's really important. That's cool. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
try to make it fun. Like we've had like comic book artists and writers guest in there and talk to the students about like how they marketed their Kickstarter project and stuff like that. But it was always a dry subject when I was in school. So I mean, if you got to choose between art and marketing, you're gonna go to art. Rightfully
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
No,
It's fun.
you mentioned you worked in the toy industry. What are some of your favorite projects that you worked on when you were in the toy industry?
I worked at a company called Atomic Monkey, which was we were obviously a very small company working out of Burbank. So we weren't necessarily license holders. We didn't hold any license, but our big bread and butter was like The Simpsons at the time. So what would happen was if there was a license holder and they wanted to make product, Fox would force them to go through us because we have like a big 3D library. I'd like to think that we were kind of like at the beginning of like the whole 3D printing thing. I know there was like Gentle Giant at the time, like we were doing it. And so we just had this 3D library of all of the characters. And if a license holder wanted to create a product, we just had something ready for them. So a lot of what we were doing was like that pipeline of like building in 3D printing, print it, mold and cast it, sculpt some more in clay, and then mold and cast again for a final product. We did like a lot of Shrek, man. We did a lot of like stuff. I mean, honestly, like I know Shrek is super popular right now. It wasn't my favorite, but like the Simpsons stuff was okay. We got to work with some really cool people. I got to meet like a lot of like awesome people. Artists would come through and want to do like personal projects. So like Chris Sanders or like Steven Silver came through, and that was like really fun.
Yeah.
Cam DeLeon, who I was a huge fan of already. So, but yeah, there was some fun projects and cool people to meet. But yeah,
That's great.
Doesn't sound like a bad deal.
no, I can't complain.
Early 2000s, I was working at a Quiznos.
Hey, I love Quiznos, man. I miss
Yeah,
that
me too.
place. Yeah, I wish that was still around.
Yes, they're here few and far between.
You got to make
Yeah,
a journey to find it. Yeah,
You have a
yeah.
better chance of seeing Bigfoot than you do finding a Quiznos that's still open.
Oh
sadly.
man, oh man. But yeah.
So if you could get back into the toy industry, is there a certain thing you would want to work on? Like, do you have a dream, toy job?
I mean, like the thing is, I'll be perfectly honest. I'm like I think I burned out on sculpting. I haven't sculpted in years. Um, Although I love it and I love sculpture, obviously, like I love toys. The actual act of sculpting, I don't know. I haven't got back into it. Like I think if I had to, here, I'll put it this way: if my house was on fire and I had to like, I could only grab like one thing, it would probably be something Hellboy. I love Hellboy.
Nice.
Um, But yeah, to be able to work on something like that would be a lot of fun. Like I don't know, like just to be able to choose properties, uh,
Oh yeah.
like cool, like fun superhero stuff.
Do your take on a Hellboy or something? That'd be awesome.
Oh no! I just want to do Mignola's Hellboy. I don't care about my take. Yeah, just Mignola's. So
Very nice.
Now, I got a question I want to throw to everybody on here, and because I already have mine in mind. So, we see a lot of things from the past coming back, and like Super Seven's doing these amazing, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So is NECA. Yeah, they're doing fantastic jobs at it. So, if you were able to grab a license that time forgot and make a brand new toy line out of it, what would it be? And I want everybody to answer.
Who goes first?
Whoever
You want
wants
me to?
Oh, okay.
I'll go first. You know what mine's gonna be, Nolan.
I do. Mm-hmm.
There was a video game in the mid '90s called Primal Rage, and it was the dinosaur fighting game, basically Mortal Kombat with big gorillas and T-Rexes. And they did some figures back then from Playmates, but I mean they were cool for their time. But they had like action features and stuff, kind of hokey, more dumbed down for kids. And I would love to see like somebody like a NECA, or I know it's grasping at straws, a Monster Arts version of Primal Rage. I mean, that's not too much to ask. I mean, Rebor has kind of touched the nostalgia nerve with the Blizzard that they did. This guy here,
unofficial Blizzard.
Just look at this thing. I mean, it's unofficially it's the big gorilla done in Blizzard's colors.
Mhm.
Now I just need them to do Chaos, and they're already doing the two T-Rexes, both the Sauron and Diablo, but they're statues basically. Like kind of with the Papo dinosaurs, they're awesome, but you're not going to get much posability. But I would love to see a NECA or somebody that's mastered the articulation and the sculpt take on Primal Rage.
Good choice. I knew it was coming, but good choice. Yeah. All right, who wants to go next?
All right, I guess I'll go next.
All right, go for it.
Yeah, honestly, a forgotten property, or not forgotten, but not really used anymore. I was a big fan of the GoBots back in the 80s.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of the another transport kind of, I don't want to say rip off, but and I just think that they looked at a really cool look. I like the more obscure kind of stuff when I was growing up, so I thought that was I'd go after that instead of everyone loving the Transformers. I'm like, hey, I'm into GoBots, and I just think to see some of those come back into some good sculptors, good companies making some of that stuff, I think you could do pretty well.
So while everybody wanted Megatron, you wanted Dive.
That's right.
That's awesome.
But
I'm right there with you.
We've seen the third-party ones of them. I mean, I know, Jason, you've picked up some third-party GoBots before.
The third-party Sidekill was pretty awesome.
They do a great job, but it would be cool to see, and like Daniel said, someone officially grab that license and make it and mass produce it, because I mean, Sidekill, him alone, he's amazing. So, very good choice. All right, it's down to two of us. Who wants to go next?
Go ahead, Nolan.
All right, okay. So Jason will probably help me out with this one, and it's kind of obscure, but it's the Centurions.
Yes.
Max Ray,
man.
Ace McCloud.
Max Ray. That was the one I had. Max Ray, the green one. And actually, I saw an artist the last month, Sean Cheeks Galloway. He does a lot of great art. He always puts up random art, and he put up art of the Centurions of Max Ray with the holes,
nice.
like we would put the armor in and everything.
Yeah.
And I was like, somebody do it.
Did he have his mustache too?
It looks just like Max Ray. Like someone's dad got off of work and became a superhero,
Yep.
But I loved those as action figures. I actually looked them up on eBay recently, and there's no way that's ever going to happen for me. But if somebody makes some, it will happen.
Yes. They had so much playability because they're so modular. Like you can, really, I love those. Man,
Yeah, those were awesome.
I don't remember their names. I had the blue one. I remember that much.
Ace McCloud.
Yeah. Oh yes, I had.
Yep.
Ace. Man. I guess if it was for me, I don't know if I'm saying, was it Captain Power? It was like
Captain Power.
Do you guys remember that? It had
Was that the one that hooked up to the TV?
Yes. Yeah.
Yep,
So
Captain
like it was
Power.
like a laser thing. Like the ship would like you would
Oh,
shoot at it
wow.
and
Yep.
then infrared stuff.
I had one of those.
That was sweet.
Yeah, man. And it would have like the foil or like the chrome plated plastic. It was so shiny. As a little kid, I'm like, oh, pretty and shiny.
Yep, those were so awesome.
Yeah, I
Captain
think
Power.
it would be that for me. And then okay, remember I don't know if you guys remember this, but I had it. It was like bug people, and there was like a creature that you actually put a
Sectars.
glove on. Is that what it
Sectars.
was?
Yes, the tarantula. I had that one.
I had that one too. You put your little hand in
Yep.
there. I'm like, yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, so I have good news on that. So Zika Toys they have Sectar new ones that have come out, but not the tarantula yet. Just the little
Okay.
they have the good guys and the bad guys, but no extra things yet. But they are happening. So there's
So just like the human, well, subhuman figures.
right with the antennas and stuff. And
Oh,
This is
sweet.
such good news for me. I can't believe that's happening. That's awesome.
That's
oh
awesome.
no, yeah. Once you get off the podcast, make sure you check Zika Toys, and you'll see they do a great job. It's I'm
Excellent.
tempted to get one myself just because they look really good. I think they did 2 waves already, so yeah, they're already deep into it.
But no
wow.
puppet,
Well,
no glove puppet tarantula.
I know.
not yet. But while we're talking about toys, I do want to throw out there because we didn't advertise it, but we are going to be giving away a prize today. If people just leave comments, we're going to announce it on our the official Pastrami Nation podcast on Wednesday.
Couple of prizes, right?
Right, you go with the first one.
Okay. Well, first off, we're gonna just leave a comment. Even just tell us hi on this.
Hi.
First is the bronze variant Joker from the McFarlane DC Multiverse.
That's amazing.
That's a
the
good shot
Chase
right
one,
there.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the Chase, the bronze one. We're gonna give one lucky winner of that. I also
Right,
got
and
another
then-
thing. Well, I got another
Yep.
one too, Nolan.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Somebody else is gonna get this is the smallest action
Oh.
figures Battle Cat.
Nice.
So yeah, 2 different winners will get those, and Nolan has
There you go.
something as well too, right?
I do, yeah, because we are Pastrami Nation, so we have to give away a Pastrami Nation sandwich, courtesy of Apollo Burger out here in Victorville. So, all
Can
you
I
do is
win
leave
that?
a comment. You cannot. you can just go buy one. But leave a comment until the start of the next podcast, and you'll be entered. I see Rebecca left a comment. Hello, Rebecca.
Hey,
But
Rebecca.
keep leaving comments. Heather Rosales put bronze. Yes, absolutely. It's the bronze one. So just drop those comments. Join in this conversation. If you had the opportunity to take an old toy line and bring it back to life, what would you pick? Let us know. You heard our picks, and I'm so glad because our picks were all very unique. Like,
What about the Snorks? Would anybody bring the Snorks back?
Oh my
What was
gosh.
that one? They were like machines and like that had biological stuff in them, and like one of them was Sawboss. He had like this
Wheel Warriors.
Yes.
Wheeled
Why
Warriors.
do you know that?
Why don't I know that? Wheeled Warriors. Sawboss.
I think that'd be another cool one.
Those are actually pretty badass. I never had any, but I always thought they were cool.
Right, because we see. I mean, in sticking with the theme of toys, we see there are a lot of old ones coming back. Announced, I want to say his last month was Silverhawks from Super
Yes.
7.
Yeah.
And I mean, if I'm a big fan of Super 7, I've loved Super 7 since they did their vinyl, robots versus kaiju stuff way back when they first started. I've picked up their Conan stuff and their Turtles, and they're amazing. So to think that we're gonna get Silverhawks in that,
Yeah.
that's pretty great.
They said they couldn't do the chrome plating because there was an issue with it, and it would, which is fine, totally fine with.
I think it'll still look good.
Yeah.
As long as Bluegrass still has his cowboy hat.
Yeah,
Right?
he's got it.
I just hope that we see with Super 7, like, how they're doing like Mutagen Man and all those like based off of the toys. I hope we get there was, I don't know if you guys remember, in the early 90s there was one of those original turtle figures. It was a jailbird cat named Scratch. Pretty awesome looking figure. I remember seeing him at Target on the shelf when I was young. Didn't think anything of it. Well, apparently that was one of the shortest printed. He's the rarest original turtle figure out there. Like, the thing goes for like $2,000 or something on eBay. So I would like to see Super 7 make him, modernize him, keep the same look.
Oh my god! I've only seen this in pictures. I'm looking it up right now. Yeah, that's crazy.
That's insane, right?
Yeah,
I seen
There's a
him
good
in person
chance,
at the
though.
store, but back then you didn't think about that kind of stuff.
We were
I
kids.
know.
Yeah, we weren't thinking about holding on to something and not opening it.
I think every collector thinks about that. If I had a time machine, like I would have been so much smarter.
We'd all be going back to like 1989, 85.
Exactly.
Hey, fancy seeing you here.
Oh,
Oh man.
Man.
But yeah, I mean, and Super 7's kind of running that nostalgia train, you know, because they got those Transformer Ultimates coming out.
yeah, they look really good.
They look
Optimus Prime with the
fantastic.
surfboard. I remember that
I know.
episode.
It's
Right?
like playing
I love that
basketball,
they're
like
doing
Duncan.
specific.
Too. I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Spike was watching him play
Yeah.
basketball.
But right now, so you know, we're in March 2021. So what are some amazing figures that you've picked up this year, and why? Why did you pick them up? What makes them amazing?
You go first.
As in me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you.
Oh, cool. I'm gonna go ahead and steal it then and say I picked up a blue Batman. So it's a Mafex Batman.
I think we're all in that
Dark
fan
Knight
club
Returns.
here.
Yeah.
So Dark Knight Returns Batman is my favorite of the Batmans. Always has been. I love the older Bruce Wayne, you know, giving up and then beating the living crap out of Superman. So Mafex probably did the best version that we'll ever see of it.
I hope
used to
they
have
do
the-
a Superman from that, you know, the
I
Dark
agree
Knight one.
with the arrow with exploding from when Green Arrow shot it. You know, so I think that'd be awesome.
I mean, it's inevitable. They have the armored Batman coming out already. Like, why wouldn't they have Superman to go with that?
And
Right.
he's really, I mean, all you need. You could do the mutant leader too if you'd like. I'd be happy with that. But at least give us Superman. You know.
I will say this: I did, because I was so excited after I bought this blue one. I bought the black one, and then I went back and I bought the old Mezco mutant leader. It's not that
sweet.
old. It's from a couple years ago.
Yeah,
It's
I had that.
not a
That's so
good figure.
2018.
Yeah, it's not a good figure though. Like I'm sorry, Mezco. I love your stuff. I've been a fan of Mezco since like 2005. But like as soon as I got it out of the package, I like articulated the legs, and then all of the like the pleather, like the fake leather, just cracked. I was like, oh,
That's
come
what I
on.
hear on him.
Yeah,
I've been hearing those issues with a lot of those Mezco 112s, you know?
yeah. I have a few, and they're holding up, but none of them have. Like my Daredevil is, I'm afraid to touch it.
Oh,
But
I used to have the yellow and the red one, and I was always afraid. Yeah.
yeah.
So he posed in the action figure package pose, right?
Yeah, exactly.
He's just
Yeah.
all right. Who's next? So what have you picked up recently? What's amazing?
Mm,
Jason.
Me?
Nico. Yeah.
okay, sure. Well, of course, Mafek's been knocking it out the park for me, you know? Like, and I'm a little more, like, obscure, like, than my brother is. I just got this today because I thought they were cool. I'm a fan of the Muppets, and these are the the Diamond Select Muppets. I heard nothing but good things about it, so I figure I'll give them a whirl. You know, thanks Amazon for sticking it in a one of those soft plastic mailers that you put like a T-shirt in. So good thing I'm opening it, right?
Yeah.
Thanks,
Yeah.
And then I
Amazon.
got- Who else did I get? I got this little guy. This is the newest Marvel Legends Wolverine. And to me, this is the best Wolverine like Marvel Legends has put out. Just look at those claws. I mean,
Yeah.
claws are a selling point for me. And you'd get that with like the high-end Mafex or like that amazing Yamaguchi one, but Marvel Legends, usually the claws were like shit, you know, like one was going this way or they're soft because safe for kids. But look at this. These claws are just like, wow, they
You
stay
can find
there.
that at Walmart, and like, yeah, they did a great job on that.
Yeah. It's just like I'm blown away by that Wolverine. And aside from that, I collect Jurassic Park stuff, and
No kidding.
reborn dinosaurs, different oddities. Beast of the Mesozoic has been taken from my wallet heavily. They just did the Triceratops line. I don't have one of those nearby to show, but they're just awesome.
Mm-hmm. Good figures.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Now you had mentioned Mezco, so one I have picked up, and I've already opened them and whatnot, but I put it back in this little plastic. Is the Hellboy previous one? It's the one that comes with the flame sword and the crown. And
Oh, nice.
being a Hellboy
Sweet.
fan, I had all the original Mezco ones when they came out, and then of course, once they started hitting ridiculous amounts, I sold them, and I regret it because they were amazing figures. So right now, this is like the Hellboy I have. I know that Thousand Toys did that really cool one with the jointed fingers.
Oh man, I'm gonna give you guys.
Oh yes.
There's like
Let's
my.
see.
You can kind of make out my.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
You
I've
are
got,
a
like-
Hellboy fan.
Some of these stem back from like 2005. Like
I'd say you like Hellboy a little bit.
Yeah,
You got
a little bit.
the animated one. I do have that animated one too.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
got
he's
that.
so cool.
And then I have the Thousand Toys one, and then I have the movie Mezco one there. That's a sweet figure, man.
Did you get the Eric So Hellboy? It was like a vinyl one.
Oh no, it's one that I never ended up picking up.
That one's pretty sweet for just what it is,
And I regret not picking it up. I should have.
Yeah, now
I
it's
remember
like
that one.
ridiculous.
It was so cool.
Yeah, man. Like I love Hellboy. That's like my going. If I could just in a fire again, just swipe the whole thing and put it into a bag. Sorry,
You got two arms, you can carry them all.
I know. Yeah. Oh,
There you
Hell
go.
yeah.
I'll grab all this stuff and then I'll wake up my girlfriend. I'm just kidding. I'm joking. I'd
Make
wake
sure
her up so
Hellboy's
she-
safe first.
Yeah, I'd wake her up first, and then so she could help me with more toys.
She can help you carry them.
Yeah, exactly.
Smart man.
Just kidding. Yeah, I don't know. I think for me, yeah, the Batman is probably my favorite of the year that I've picked up. I've been on a TMNT kick. I was late to the game. I found Casey Jones at the end of last year, the animated one.
Sweet.
With the foot soldier.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, in Northridge. And then I didn't have any of the other ones. I just never even tried because I never saw them at my Target. And then I don't know what came over me. And then it was just like, I was on OfferUp on eBay, just trying to like get really good deals on everything. And I think I've got it to the point where I have all the movie figures I want. I have all of the mainline like cartoon figures now. And I'm like, I think I'm happy. I'm not chasing anything else. I think when that Chrome Dome comes out, I want to get that.
Yes.
And then there's like
Ace Duck looks pretty cool.
Yes, and Ace Duck. I think those are the two that I really want to get now. So
Did you get the Rock guys?
no, I did not.
Those are sweet, man.
They are. I have like I forget what their names are now. The Triceratops guys.
Yes.
But
The orange one and the green one?
Yes. But I don't put them up because everything I have is like mainline. So, or you know what I mean? It's like the big characters.
Like the original.
Yeah. So I don't know. I might even trade those guys. I have an extra. I'm just putting this out there. I have an extra cartoon Donatello and Krang 2-pack. That's like
Sweet.
perfect in box. So if anybody is looking for it and they need it, let me know.
There we go.
Sweet.
But yeah, I don't know, man. I gotta say, those House of X-Men, I finished off that line too. Because I don't know, I've been reading it like House of X, and it's crazy. I'm like huge X-Men fan. I mean, obviously, but okay.
Yeah.
Here, I'll show you. Now this is the other side. So I have like
Over to the X
whole-
Mansion.
I did like a whole like if I had this in my childhood, like the 90s X-Men. I have the 80s X-Men on the far side. And then there's like my Marvel stuff, and then there's the House of X.
Sweet.
On the side, but and then there's all my Star Wars stuff with like
Not bad.
mostly Mandalorian figures now. Oh, and then I got this guy, my Hot Toys Mandalorian.
Dude.
Ooh, a Hot Toys man.
Wow.
I know. You know, it's funny. I haven't picked up any Hot Toys in like years, but now because of COVID and like I'm just working a lot, I've got disposable money. So now I picked up my first
Sweet.
Hot Toy in like 5 years.
That's awesome. And what a hot toy to get.
Yeah, that was gonna be the one. I knew it. Like I knew that had to be the one. So. Yeah.
So I know you like basketball too. How do you feel about those Mathix basketball players? The
I
ones
haven't-
ones?
I haven't picked them up yet. I wanted to pick up that Michael. I had that old 6-scale. I think it was like Enterbay or
Yeah, the really fancy
Oh,
ones.
the Michael Jordan. I have that, and I just put it back in this box. When I got the Mandalorian, I had to rearrange the shelves.
Sorry, Michael.
Yeah, sorry, MJ, we went back into the box. But I might display him somewhere else. But yeah, I haven't picked up the 12. I think I saw it at Ageless Geeks and it was just out of my price range at the time. But do you have any of them?
No, I have LeBron pre-ordered, but I don't believe he's came out yet. So
Right.
I'm a Laker fan, so
Yeah.
I do love the Jordan one, but like this is LeBron in a Laker jersey.
Yeah. Hopefully we can get a Kobe come down the line.
Oh,
That'd be nice.
dude,
Yeah.
sold.
Cool.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah. Yes, they should do. They can do even 3 different Kobe's. I think.
Yeah.
The
yeah.
Mamba jersey, the classic
Exactly.
yellow,
Yeah.
and different heads.
Yeah. Put him in his fro.
Yep, the
back
number
his
8
early
fro.
days. Yep.
Oh yeah,
That'll be good.
that was the Kobe and Shaq Lakers.
Yeah, man. I'll take a Shaq 12 scale figure. That'd be cool.
Oh hell yeah,
I'll take that too.
good old Shaq O'Neal.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker when it comes to anything Lakers.
Yeah. Tell me about it. I was raised on the Lakers, so yeah.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah.
Daniel, what about you? Have you picked up anything that's like stood out to you recently?
So yeah, toys. I gotta admit, don't really have many toys. What I do collect is the Funkos. That's kind of just my thing I do. So my favorite I've gotten recently was Red Goblin, which was a New York Comic Con exclusive.
Oh wow!
So yeah, that's here. Let me grab him real quick.
Okay, yeah,
sweet.
I love the whole concept of Red Goblin. I mean,
yeah, good,
so
good,
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
horrible Marvel Legend, but very, see, that's great.
Oh yeah, the Marvel Legend. Ooh, sweet.
But the
So-
pop is awesome. Wow.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. My brother also looks out for me. He collects a whole bunch of them. So got some good inside information there.
Hey,
Nice.
that's great,
Not
man.
bad.
Yeah, somebody else looking out for you too. So
Insider trading. Love it.
No, I used to get the Funkos, but lately it's definitely been more of the action figure. I got back into the Mezco stuff and Mafex, and sometimes
There's
Marvel
been too many
Legends,
good figures, yeah.
So good. So good.
Oh, they suck you in, and you're like, but it's a good problem to have.
You go to Target for some coffee creamer and you end up spending like $70. Yeah.
I know.
And that could happen
Guilty.
to any of us right here, because Target has pops. That could happen to any one of us.
Okay, all right. Since we're on the subject, I have to ask because I live near 3 Targets and
Oh,
2
sweet.
Walmarts, and they are crap for NECA stuff. Like
Oh yeah.
only one of them has decent NECA stuff. The one closest to me, it's like it looks like a bomb went off or something. It looked like like an old Kmart. It's just so disheveled.
Oh, how horrible!
So
Yep.
how is your guys' place like for stocking toys, like in the Targets by you?
Targets, I'd say 2 out of the 3 Targets are pretty good, And then
Yes.
there's the rare chance that like that shitty Target that you never find shit at. That one day I had like just awesome luck. I found like the 3 different turtle 3-packs, the 2 Triceratops ones and the rock guys. There was
So
just an
good.
end cap of it at the shitty Target that I wasn't even going to go to,
Wow.
But my other 2 Targets, they're good. They're constant. I find all the Back to the Future, the NECA, different stuff like that. Walmart's, kind of a different story.
yeah.
If you don't
Walmart's
catch,
very hit or miss, except for we have one that will never stock NECA.
well, there's the guy he hooks up somebody else. So
Mhm.
unless you get there on a day that it's somebody else, you're not going to find shit. Like we got lucky one time with Casey Jones and the Raphael with the trench coat because
Yeah.
it was some kid working there and he's just got all these things up on the back counter right there. We're like, hey, can we get one? Yeah, sure. Whereas the other guy, we've seen him about to stock the box and he saw us and he puts them back in and takes them back. I'm like, oh, okay. So he's hooking up someone else,
Oh, that's not cool. That sucks.
No,
I mean, it's cool for that guy, I guess, whoever he's
for the guy
hooking
getting
up,
hooked up.
but Yeah. That's unfair for like literally everybody else. That sucks.
I mean, if
What
he's a
about you,
true
Daniel? What do you
collector
see?
hooking up a friend, then hey, you can't knock him because I worked at Toys R Us back in the day. But
Yeah.
if he's just hooking up a scalper so they can profit off of it, then they're just assholes,
Yeah. Yeah.
Daniel dropped off.
Daniel ran to Walmart.
Oh, he might-
He's like,
might
shit, I got to
have.
tell my buddy. No, no, just messing with it, Danny.
Oh man.
No, yeah, it's definitely hit or miss. Oh, there he is. Let me pop him back in.
Okay, there we go.
There he is.
Hey,
There's
Danny.
Lando.
Yeah. You guys were all cutting out, and then I was gone.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
but you're back. So, do you have any? What's your experience when you're going to look at like Walmart and Target? Do you come across kind of the same thing?
Yeah, it can be hit and miss. I know. Basically, I check them every time I go. The Walmart, like I said, you never know what you're going to get. There's always something different
Right.
there. And I found some good stuff there. My brother, when he goes shopping too, he's found chases there.
Nice.
Okay. All kinds of stuff. But yeah, the Targets are pretty stable. They pretty much have the same things. Like right now, there's one that has about 55 of Dwight Schrute's as the Scranton Strangler. So
I
yeah,
know
the
which
Target
one that
exclusive.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that existed. I
plenty.
need to go get that now.
Well, they have plenty out here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take a drive. I'll
Come to
with you.
Hesperia.
Yeah,
We got you covered.
Yeah.
exactly.
Let me see if we got any comments. Sean Tracy says, "What's up? What's up? What's up, Sean Tracy? How
Sean?
are you?" And he also says, "You just need to bribe Josh Contos because
Oh, boy.
Contos
Putting Contos
does
on
work in
blast.
retail, but yeah, he probably sees that too, though. He probably sees a lot of that going on. Sadly,
Oh, yeah.
people just because I've gone over there and asked people like, "Hey, yeah, if you got this," and they pull out one, they're like, "Oh, well, 3 are missing. I wonder what happened there."
At the same time, you don't want to get these people in trouble because I had a buddy at a Toys R Us one time, and I told him I don't want you getting in trouble, and he's like, because the manager was kind of a stickler, like we need to leave it on there for everybody to have a fair shot. So it got to be where, hey, go check the third baby carriage in the baby section at Toys R Us. You look under there, wow, Deadpool.
See, Toys R Us doesn't exist anymore in America,
Oh.
so we could go ahead and say it.
Yeah, true.
Toys R
we
Us, that
both
was the
did
good
our
old
time
days
there.
when I worked there.
Mhm.
Like that was the dream job, as it being a collector,
Yes, yes.
I thought like I was never greedy, but if I wanted something and it was there, I had first dibs.
Yeah.
And like managers, oh, you got to put it in the employee hold section. Well, the problem with that was they had it was behind the service desk counter, and customers could come in and see. And if they looked, oh, can I get that? And some of these girls would just be like, sure, and give them your like chase figure or whatever.
Oh,
So I came up with the floor panel idea because those little floor panel kick plates lifted up. You just put it under there in the color book aisle. Nobody's going to look there.
Or
All the
that's
collectors
smart.
are running in.
in-
I'm running
in
to
se-
color books.
I remember in seasonal. I remember one time you were like, just go to seasonal, and I went to seasonal, and they're like awesome stuff just hanging out right there. And I was
What was it? Clear Vision and like
Clear
Phasing Ghost
Vision
Rider.
and- yeah, it was all those ones
Back in those days.
That gummy vision.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but good times. Contos is chiming in on here. Hello, Contos. How are you?
Oh, hey, Contos.
I do want to give a shout out to Josh Contos. So he just joined Pastrami Nation not too long ago. We've known him for a while. He's been a part of the Linebreakers family and everything. And he's actually knocking out of the park when it comes to the Bluefin Flame Toys model kits.
The Transformer ones, yes.
Yes, he's been consistently building amazing model kits. Check out Pastrami Nation. You'll see today was the Generation 1 Prime.
Oh, sweet.
And sneak peek, the one that's going up next will be the San Diego Comic Con exclusive, the clear IDW Prime,
Ooh.
which
Nice.
just looks amazing and was probably a really pain in the butt to put together because
I bet.
yeah, all clear parts like that and whatnot. So check that out and definitely check out those Bluefin models. Bluefin and Flame Toys have been doing amazing things, and they did already announce GI Joe ones are coming. So we know Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow. That we saw the art already that they've shown on their Instagram. So yeah.
I hope they give us Bat, the Battle Android Trooper, and
Yep.
give us like an alternate head that's like half exploded.
Oh, that would be cool.
That'd be cool.
Give us Sergeant
Yes.
Slaughter. I know it's not going to happen, but
Sergeant Slaughter.
Cool. So I have
Oh,
another question for you guys. Oh, so I
Go
mean,
ahead,
like,
go ahead.
I'm 38. I was born in 82. So like 80s, 90s. I think like that's the stuff a lot of people our age are nostalgic for. How did you guys get started with the collecting?
for me, it's like, well, me and my brother the same kind of like. Our parents didn't have a whole lot of money, and my dad was the biggest miser I've ever met. So like, uh, not you'd be able to get like one Transformer for the year or something like that, maybe two GI Joes. That kind of like you kind of make up for lost time now that you have your own money and you can buy it.
Yeah.
And boy,
Yeah,
howdy, do I buy.
But I'll add to that because it made the toys that much more meaningful to us. I was also born in '82, and for me it was the big turning point because growing up I was the youngest out of there's four brothers, so I grew up with comic books and toys around me. The one that really like drove it home for me, like we were, like Jason said, we were poor growing up, like really poor, and there was a Christmas that was like you're getting one present each, and that's if we can pull it off, and we all just wrote down one thing we wanted, and for me it was the X-Men Toy Biz Morph figure.
Oh,
With the three heads.
With the three heads, yeah. And my mom did it. And
wow.
I have no idea how or what, and to me that always sticks with me, and I've been a collector ever since. I absolutely love it. I love action figures. I love what goes into it, from the design to the sculpting to the packaging. The packaging is such a big thing, especially now that I teach marketing. Like if your packaging's crap, you're doing your product a disservice.
Yes.
But it all started way back then for me, and like I said, growing up, Jason, was always super big into Transformers. My brother Clark was like the biggest GI Joe fan, so I had these influences on me, and luckily I did because it's all awesome stuff.
Yeah. What about you, Daniel?
Well, I grew up in Lucerne Valley, which is a little small town. We didn't have any toy stores or comic book stores, so
or grocery stores.
I always wanted, or we have one store, but they didn't really carry that stuff. So we always had to go out to Victorville or something, and that's always a trip. So it's like you really appreciate when you did. And like the first time my parents took me to a comic shop, and you just see all of this stuff. Like that. First time was actually when I went to go buy the Death of Superman because I was going to make everybody rich. Bought it.
Oh, the black bagged one, yes.
Yeah, the black bag one. Yeah.
So and that's where I got my first exposure, and you just see these cool figures but I just didn't have the money at the time. And as you get older and you see all these this stuff coming out, and what really got me kind of looking at the Funkos was you have these things where someone wore a variant thing once, and it's so really cool, but you knew it's just you're never gonna see it, and all of a sudden you have this $8.99 figure here that has this alternate costume and this alternate thing, and it's like, let me grab that, and it's just grew from there, and got my kids all sucked in now too. So all my kids, even my daughter, she got some Stranger Things ones, and
there you go.
So it's a family affair there.
That's
awesome.
Good. So yeah, speaking of family affairs, that's how I was raised by a super dork. My dad was like a hardcore geek like all of us. He was a collector, man. I remember my childhood. My dad was a big comic book collector, so we would on the weekends just go to comic book store. We would like just make our rounds around Southern California, Orange County, LA area. And man, I've been going to Frankenstein since 1990. I was like 8 years old. I remember when I first went to. It was just like baseball cards and comics. That's all it was.
You had an awesome childhood.
Yeah, I'm blessed and I'm lucky for it. Like when I was like really, I think both my parents worked, so I think to make up for it because I barely saw them, they would just buy me toys, which I'm not complaining about. But like, the Super Friends toys in the 80s was a big thing for me. The Marvel ones too, like the little rubber with the 5PA ones.
Oh, the Secret Wars.
The Secret Wars.
Yeah, the Secret Wars
shield.
stuff. Yeah. My first memory of art, my dad likes to take responsibility of like, I helped Christian discover art. He would take like Batman and then put it on a piece of paper, and then we would just trace his outline, and then he would remove it, and then he would like, fill it in, draw his like utility belt and everything. So like, I remember in 4th grade, I got in trouble because I during like my teacher was reading, and I was just with a pen drawing all over my hand. And then she called my parents. She's like, "Your son's graffitiing on himself." I drew the Infinity Gauntlet on my hand in 4th grade back in like 1991.
That's
And
awesome.
I don't remember my dad's reaction, but I'm sure he was proud. He was like, "You got all the 6 gemstones. That's good." Yeah, I was like a little
Like this
kid.
to the teacher.
Yeah, I know. Come on, it's not working.
Oh,
Yeah.
where'd Nolan go?
I'm here. I'm trying to get my camera working. Keep going.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my camera. See, look at. I'm like.
Oh, hey, there he is.
Oh, there you go.
This is what
Oh, he
happens
looks
when
like
a
he
green
went
screen
outside.
goes out.
Oh, it's cool. It still looks good.
I'm going with it.
Yeah. Awesome.
So
So is there like
that's awesome. Yeah.
everybody here? Is there like one character that you would love to see made into an action figure that hasn't been made into an action figure?
I know what yours is going to be, but yeah.
Of course you do.
Mm-hmm. I'll have to think about that.
Yeah, I have to think about that too.
Let me think.
Want me to go first?
Yeah, you already have
Okay,
it
and
ready. Yeah.
Early 90s, Spider-Man comics introduced us to the most awesome Spider-Man villain ever named Cardiac. And he was that blue and white guy with that lightning stick. And
The lightning
he
down
has-
there and the
yeah.
mask. Yeah.
he was just so awesome, such a good design. And he rode that little glider. And to this day, there has still not been, the only thing close to a figure that there's been of him is, I believe there's a Hero Clicks of him, which is basically like, I mean, there's Hero Clickses of like human bystanders too, you know?
Mhm.
So I look at it as Marvel Legends made the fucking Frogman and Eel before
I
they made a
know.
Cardiac.
Oh my god,
Right?
it's so true. He looks awesome. I totally remember him.
Oh, he
Good
has
character.
such a good design. But watch, they'll probably
Yeah.
make like Porcupine before they make him.
Hey, I'd be happy with Porcupine. Early 80s, Captain America comics.
I knew you were gonna bring up Cardiac, and I remember you used to like tweet Hasbro about it too.
Yeah, I wrote to them so many times and they told me to fuck off.
There are some decent customs though. I'm finding them like they're automatically coming up. They're not bad.
Yeah. It's just you got to pay $300 to some guy for it.
Yeah.
I just might be at that point, you know.
You might be.
Man.
You know, there's not one that I can think of that's never had one, but they've only had one figure of this, and it would be from G.I. Joe. It would be the Cobra Law.
Yes.
You know, I loved the Cobra Law from the movie, you know, the Globulus and the three of them. Well, there was more than the three.
Nemesis Enforcer.
Nemesis Enforcer, yeah. Give us, you know, I'm not wowed by the G.I. Joe Classified. I'd be happy if you give us updated 3 3/4 inch sculpt of them, you know, because the G.I. Joe Classifieds are very hit or miss for me. But I mean, if you make them, I'll buy them, yeah. But I'd rather like a 3 3/4 inch, so that way I can kind of go with the boss fight studio stuff.
Have
Like,
you
okay,
picked up any? Go ahead, Jason. Sorry.
they're going to be like, we were just about to unveil the Comic-Con exclusive G.I. Joe Classified Cobra Law box set, but since Nolan Smith said no, screw it.
No, I said I'll still buy it. I will still buy it.
Nolan, do you have any of the classified figures?
I do, yeah. So I have Snake Eyes. I had Duke, but his knee broke as soon as I moved it.
Oh.
It like completely warped and bent. Like it felt like so cheap. I had so it went back to Amazon. But they haven't really impressed me yet. Oh no, I have Firefly.
Oh, nice.
He looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Do you have any?
I have I have the first original series that came out. And then I have Cobra Commander. That Destro figure is really nice. I like that one a lot. It just looks good. It has good presence on the shelf. I like the Snake Eyes figure too. I do not have that one. I didn't
Pimp Daddy Destro.
Yeah, that was good. And I picked up a Baroness. I ended up getting Baroness from Age of Steam. They had it for a really good price. I couldn't pass it up. So.
Well, I see in the comments, Josh Contos is talking about Scarlet and Baroness. I need a Baroness, Josh Contos.
Yeah, hook it up.
Yeah, we need Baroness.
Yeah. I was seeing crazy prices, and then I was just at Frank's one day, and they had it I just couldn't pass it up. And I'm like, I don't know, I'll take it.
And you said Ageless?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ageless is one of my go-to places there.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
They have
always
very, very reasonable prices, and they're always fantastic people there. So.
Yeah.
them and
Like,
Toy Arena. Those are the two.
mhm,
You know.
Mhm.
yeah.
Oh, D-Pins. D-Pins has been pretty great too.
Yeah. I go, it's funny because I go to their store in Anaheim too. And then I also see them they probably every time I see me, they're like, this guy again. Because I'm too present to them. But yeah, I think my first stop every time I go to Frank's is right to Ageless Geeks.
Yeah,
Usually.
those two.
Yeah.
Yeah. They always have the newest and the coolest stuff, like the Map Fixer, the Storm collectibles, and
Yeah.
the things, Mezcos. They got a really cool selection of Mezco.
Yeah. That's good stuff. They have the good figure arts and they have like all of the good stuff. So
Yeah. So if you buy Frankenstein's and you're thinking like, where do I go? You should probably stop by Ageless, Toy Arena, and D-Pins.
yeah. We are not sponsored by them. We're just
We're
sincerely
not, but if you want to sponsor us, we'll be okay
Yeah.
with it too.
if we should like tag Felix and Alex right now.
Oh, we should. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or Chris
Absolutely.
or somebody. So
Go ahead, tag them in there, and we'll be like, agelessgeeks.com.
yeah.
Yes.
For all your 12 scale needs.
Oh yeah.
But in all serious, they are an amazing company, and we've been, going there for a long time, and
Yeah.
they're outstanding.
Since
They're
the
one of
old
standouts.
building.
Yeah.
We had to park clear to McDonald's to walk over there sometimes.
Oh my god. I mean, that's one thing that I do like about the new location is like the parking situation is much better. And I'm sure once COVID's done, this line thing is going to be not an issue anymore. It was just a weird transition, like right when we got to the new building, like this is what it was. But were you guys there? Because this is the third building. I don't know if you guys were there on the first building.
I don't think we
No.
were. No, we were at the
The
previous
San Jose
building.
one.
The
San
San
Jose,
Jose
yeah.
one. There was another one. It was right off the freeway. I think like it was same exit fairway. But you know how like you passed like that Carl's Jr. and then
Yep.
like with the fairway exit, you would turn right at that or turn left at that Carl's Jr. and it was right up facing the freeway. That was the original location.
Oh,
And then,
wow.
Like kind of like
to
you're going to the
San Jose.
Toys R Us, that area.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think it was down Valley or whatever that street was.
Yes,
But yeah.
Valley.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then I remember when they moved. I was still I think I was still in high school. It was like in the '90s when they moved to the San Jose location. But man, it's crazy.
Before parking became a nightmare.
Jeez, I know. Yeah, I will tell you this. There was one day I parked, and like you just gotta park like really far. I was pulling. I was leaving. I was getting back into my car, and I was leaving, and I backed. I was leaving, and I almost ran over somebody. I'm like, oh my god.
Oh no.
And I looked, and it was Rob fucking Liefeld. I was like, it was like him and his son. And I'm like, oh my god! And he had a bag. He bought something, but I was like, holy crap, that's kind of cool.
I've seen him walking around there. He frequents it, huh?
Yeah, he's from Whittier. I don't know if he still lives in Whittier, but I know he's from there, so it's close by. It makes sense.
I thought I seen him, and I was like, that guy kind of looks, but I didn't want to go, hey,
Yeah,
So I didn't want to fanboy out on him or nothing,
No.
that was almost a nightmare. It could have been like, oh, famed comic book artist Rob Liefeld run over in a parking lot at Frankenstein's.
No, he really can't draw feet. Yeah.
I know, yeah. Yeah.
I'll
Had
stop.
his hands
I'll
are
stop
cut off.
just in case we ever want him on here. I'll stop.
Yeah. I'll quit with the hand jokes.
Yeah. It's okay, Rob. We love you still. It's okay. Cheers,
Yes.
Rob.
We do. We actually had a very
Exactly.
good conversation with him before Deadpool the movie came out and everything, and nobody wanted to stop at his booth at Comic-Con, and Jason and I were talking to him about Fighting American because that was his book he had out at the time. And he was the nicest guy. He gave us
Yeah.
all this free Fighting American stuff and everything.
Yeah, he was
and,
super cool.
yeah, everybody
despite
was
all
like,
the rumors.
yeah, they're always like, Rob Liefeld's, the biggest jerk in comics. We're like, I could think of a few
No.
others.
It's Todd McFarlane. I'm just kidding.
No.
I think he's changed his ways. I'm sure he's a nice guy now. I heard
He's been
really,
super
really
cool to us every, like,
We
I'd
used to
say
stop by
who's-
anytime we saw him, and we got to just
Yeah.
chat with him, and he was always super cool.
Yeah,
Who was
I've
the
heard
douche?
that.
It was
You
Peter
know who the
David
douche-
was kind of Peter David.
And you know which one, surprisingly, was Mike Mignola.
Was he a douche?
You remember,
The first time.
He would not even acknowledge anybody that came up. He would have his daughter hand stuff to you. at the con.
But that was the first time we met him. But then,
then
like years later,
he was
cool.
fine, and he's actually retweeted our stuff before when it's about Hellboy and everything. So it could have just been maybe he was sick, maybe something was keeping him behind the scenes.
I met him back in like I think 2005 at Comic-Con, and I have 2 Hellboy tattoos, but this was the World Tree, the Yggdrasil, and I showed him, and he was like, oh, that's cool, and he's like, oh, you got the words and everything too, and then I think he realized it was a tattoo, and he was like, backed up, and he was like to his wife, he was like, you have to see this, and then he just stopped talking to me. But I have like another one. I have this is like Hellboy's his heart burning and like falling, like after Nimue takes it, and spoiler alert, like it's his heart falling to hell. But I saw him,
you
last
ruined
year.
it for me.
Sorry. But yeah, I saw him last year, and he was super cool, like at Lightbox. And like, man, we talked I'd like to think like 30 minutes, but it was probably like 7 minutes. And
that's right. Cool. He had a really nice booth at Lightbox.
Yeah,
we were there, weren't we?
We were at that Lightbox, and he was like the talk of the town. Like his booth was packed.
Yeah, I bought like $100 print from him. I couldn't. My girlfriend was like, "Dude, you're gonna be so mad at yourself if you don't buy that."
And then you showed him your tattoo again, and he's like, "Not again." No.
I know this guy. You're following me.
You're like, hold on now, let me break out the World Tree.
Like they'll have a cool print that you don't want to like. There's a few prints I've regretted not getting, but I remember I don't know if you guys are familiar with Ryan Otley, who does Invincible.
Mm-hmm.
I got the sweetest. It was he did a print only for Comic-Con. It was Hulk basically breaking apart Thing, like you see blood and like that blue eye and like the hand.
That's cool.
It was super
because
cool.
Ryan Otley
was really
is like
cool.
His violence is like, I think the only one up there on his level of violence is like Frank Cho. Like he's right up there with Frank Cho level violence.
Yeah.
Oh no, that
Who's also really
comic was
cool.
pretty violent. So.
Yeah, Berserk was great.
It was pretty violent. Yeah. Well, actually, I think we're right about running out of time, guys. But I do want to, of course, first remind everybody: drop your comments. You can win. Jason has 2 toy prizes on his side. He has a bronze Joker DC Multiverse, as well as a battle cat.
Little tiny battle cat.
And then you can also win a Pastrami Nation combo courtesy of a Paulo Burger.
I'm winning that.
And you're not. But and we will announce, we're announcing that winner and the winner of the last podcast both on our podcast this Wednesday. And just to give you guys a little sneak peek, we will be talking about the new Image comic Ultra Mega, which is very kaiju heavy and violent.
Kind of fitting for what's coming out soon.
Mm-hmm. Very fitting. Why do you think? Yep, that's why I thought like Ultra Mega. It's perfect. We'll also have a special guest. We'll be talking to an author who won a contest out here in the high desert. So it'll be a great time. Well, sir, I want to thank you. Thank you for joining us.
Yes,
and I'd love to have
absolutely.
you back to talk action figures again, because
whenever, please let me know.
That's one of our favorite things.
Yeah.
And I want to, of course, I want to thank Daniel and Jason, as always, for being here. And sir, is there anywhere anybody can go to follow you on Instagram, Facebook, see your artwork?
Yeah, it's at Christian Nacorda. I have 2 accounts. I guess I'll say it here because I don't usually advertise this. Jason's one of the few people, like you guys followed me on both accounts, but at Christian Nacorda is my normal one. It's my art one. But my toy one is Zoinks. It's Z, but 0 INKS. And it just said like Dusty Old Toys on it. I've been way more active on that because I just don't have time to paint, but I've got plenty of time to collect. So
yes.
And you have some great pictures up there. Let me say, like I said, it influenced me into getting this blue Batman. So
yeah, it's such a good figure. I know.
It's
the one that I like.
You got some great pictures on your art Instagram too. I mean, just showed my son. He's a big Office fan. I saw you just with Michael Scott there.
That was awesome.
Star Wars pictures. So yeah, they're amazing.
Thank you. I did that Michael Scott one. It was like the end of the year, and it was getting off of Netflix, and it was my like goodbye Office. Even though I ended up getting Peacock. So
I was about to say, but it's on Peacock now.
Yeah. So I still have it. So.
Well, awesome. Well, and thank you everybody for tuning in and joining us on this special interview. I know usually we're not here on a Sunday, but we were happy to do this. This was a fun time.
Yeah.
Signing off for Pastrami Nation. This is Nolan Smith. Have a great night, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.